Hello children, welcome back. In last video, we had discussed about Java history and history of Java and Java compilation process. Today, all again we'll start with Java compilation process here and we'll see how the Java source code is being executed and how you get the result, output you can see. So first of all, we'll just go for the ordinary compilation so that we can differentiate Java compilation and ordinary compilation. So just go for the ordinary compilation first of all. Ordinary compilation. See, all the programming languages definitely they are having either compiler or interpreter. Okay, so this compiler or interpreter is responsible for converting the source code into object code, or you can say in the machine language, so that a machine can easily understand the source code and it will execute. Okay, so if you have a source code in ordinary compilation, source code, I believe you are aware of source code. Source code. Are you aware? Yes. So source code is a code which we use to write a program in any language. Source code is a code which we use to write a program. Means when we write a program in any language, that program is called source code. So that is source code, and we use compiler. Compiler or maybe interpreter, and then it is converted into machine code. So source code is being converted into machine code by compiler or interpreter in ordinary compilation process. Is it? So the source code and compiler will just convert this source code, that is called object code. In other programming languages, it is called, like C, it is called object code, and that object code is easily understood by the underlying machine, underlying operating system. So in ordinary compilation process, source code is being converted into machine code with the help of compiler or interpreter, and this is called object code, or it is also known as native executable code. Native executable code, object code or native executable code. So this is how the ordinary compilation process happens. Source code is being converted into machine code with the help of compiler or interpreter. But in Java, since Java uses both compiler and interpreter, so two times the source code is being converted. When we convert source code into using the help of compiler, Java compiler, now it provides you bytecode. Let's see how it happens in Java compilation process. So in Java compilation process, this is your source code with the help of Java compiler. With the help of Java compiler, it will be converted into an intermediate language that is called bytecode. And see, this bytecode can be used on any other platform, only you need the specific JVM to execute this bytecode on any platform. That's why Java is known as a platform independent language. Okay? Because this bytecode is an intermediate language, neither fully machine, neither fully high level language. So it is an intermediate language, and this code can be used on any underlying platform, and it will execute. What do you need only to the different platforms? We need only JVM, Java Virtual Machine, or Java Interpreter to execute this bytecode for a specific machine. Clear? Now, this bytecode right here could be converted by JVM, that is also known as Java Interpreter, and it will convert in the machine language or underlying machine language, so that your machine will understand and execute, and will provide you the results. See, when we write a source code in Java, it is, suppose your class name is Java, so it will become .java file. .java file. So this .java file will be converted by Java compiler in bytecode. So this bytecode is also known as .class file. What it is? .class file. So when we just input a source code, and with the help of Java compiler, when we try to convert, now it will provide a intermediate language that is called bytecode. So we can just check the definition of bytecode like that. When the source code is being converted by the compiler, one new code being generated, that is called bytecode. Okay, bytecode is being generated when the source code is being compiled. So as soon as the source code is compiled by the Java compiler, it will provide you bytecode, and this bytecode can be used on any platform to execute. No need to change the code, as it is can be used on other platforms, and those platforms need only JVM, Java Virtual Machine, this JVM for the specific platform, and this JVM is responsible for converting bytecode into machine code or underlying machine code. Okay, so this is the process of compilation of Java compilation process. Source code is being converted into bytecode using Java compiler, that is also known as Java class file, and with the help of JVM, Java interpreter, it will convert this bytecode into class file into machine language. Okay, let's go another way, we'll understand this one. Here we see compile time. And this is runtime. In runtime, in compile time, this source code, this is your source code. It is go by the Java compiler, and it is being converted into bytecode. As soon as we compile our source code with the help of Java compiler, it will be converted into a bytecode. We'll see one example. What happens? As soon as, suppose to take example, for example, if I write a class ABC, and here public static void main. Let's take example of this one. Simplest way. The class name is ABC. So in source code, the class name would be ABC dot Java. ABC dot Java will go to this compiler. Now compiler will convert this ABC dot Java in what? ABC dot class file. As I told you just now, that bytecode is also known as dot class file. So when you just create the first program in Java in BlueJ using BlueJ, just try to see where you have kept your project. Clear? After writing a simple program, just compile it and go again to the project to check whether your dot class file is created or not. Yes, it will be created. It will be created in your project as soon as you compile your source code. Clear? So after compilation, it was converted into bytecode. Let's go for here. At one time, what will happen? This class file would be come to the class loader. This is the process of runtime. This class loader will load this class file to the JVM for the execution. And after this loader, this class file is a bytecode. So this bytecode verifier, will verify whether this bytecode is correct or not. So this will verify, and then after verifying your JVM, it means interpreter will interpret this bytecode into the it will execute actually in the machine language, or you can say to the specific hardware. So this is what happens inside JVM. Your class file will be loaded by class loader file, and then class loader this will be checked by bytecode verifier whether if any problem is there, if any difficulty is there. At the same time, at the runtime, it will provide you error. Either it will come to the interpreter, and interpreter will just interpret this bytecode into machine language. So this is how your compilation process happens in Java. In compile time, the source code that is also known as abc.java in Java, abc.java would be converted by Java compiler into bytecode, and this bytecode is also known as intermediate language. It is neither fully machine language nor fully high level language. It is an intermediate language, and this bytecode can be used on any other platform without changing the source code, without changing any kind of implementation. This bytecode can be used on any other platform to execute it. Clear? So this was your Java compilation process. Hope you understood this topic. Clear? Write about bytecode. It is the intermediate code generate after Java compilation. As I told you, as soon as the source code is being compiled by Java compiler, it provides an intermediate language that is called bytecode. So it is an intermediate code generated after Java compilation. As soon as the source code is being compiled by Java compiler, it provides an intermediate code, a machine code you can say, that is called bytecode. Clear? This bytecode is responsible for executing on any other platform, and this bytecode makes Java platform independent language. This bytecode makes Java platform independent language because this bytecode can be used on any other platform to execute the code. Clear? If you change the operating system, if you change the different environment, different platforms, the result will not change. Clear? It would be same for all the platforms. So this was your bytecode. Clear? Now, just go for Java buzzwords. Java buzzwords or Java features. Both are same. Okay. Java buzzwords or Java features. So first one, Java features come, that is simple. Java is a very simple language to understand, even for the beginners also. It is quite simple. The syntax are quite simple to understand and implement. Okay, so this is a simple language. Simple language you can say in uh, because the syntax of Java, the fundamental of Java is very very easy for the beginners and very early you can be master also in Java because the syntax, the source code, the different implementations are very easy. So this is simple object oriented. It is based on class and objects. It implements attributes and behaviors and Java in Java everything treated as an object except primitive data type. Clear? So it is object oriented. Third one is portable. Portable means the source code can easily be converted into bytecode and that bytecode can be used on any other platform without changing the implementation level of code. So that bytecode, because of bytecode you can write here, because of bytecode, Java makes its own features portable because this bytecode can be used on any other platform without changing the syntax or implementation level of code. So this is portable. Now, fourth one is distributed. Distributed. See, using Java, we can create online applications as well. Online applications can be used, and those applications can be used on a network. So, different people on the same time can use that application. So, this is distributed as well. The fifth one is multi-threaded. Multi multi-threaded means within a code, within a program, the different parts can work simultaneously in a execution. Means the different code can work on the same time differently. So this is called multi-threading. On the same time, the different codes will execute without disturbing the other source of code. So this is multi-threaded. So this is your Java features or Java buzzwords. Thank you for watching.